What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. This is the Truzz the Bank podcast. Myself and Joshua are back with the podcast. Hopefully going to try and do it once a week. We're going to try and bring the live streams back in the off season. I mean, obviously into the season, but if you don't know, today is Tuesday. Free agency started yesterday. Teams can't tweet out, can't announce any signings until Wednesday. I want to say that's around 4 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. They can start officially announcing it. So anybody waiting for if you have Ravens Twitter notifications or something like that, or Instagram on, and you're waiting for them to announce Derrick Henry or anything like that, they're not going to do that till tomorrow. But we wanted to get this episode out and talk about a couple of things. First off, reacting and recapping kind of the hectic couple of days it's been in big-time Ravens news. So Madubuike, Henry, guys leaving, all that stuff. And then we're going to jump into kind of the future. What do we want for the rest of free agency? And then we're going to finish it off with a mock draft. And we'll do it, quote unquote, not live because you guys aren't, watching this live, but we'll be doing it so you guys can see our entire thought process. And we'll talk about all the players that we're discussing. And we'll show the board on the screen as well. So if you guys are listening on Spotify, you can watch it on Spotify as well. But, Apple Podcasts, YouTube to watch the other segments and everything like that. But Joshua, let's jump right into it. Rapid reactions. Let's go first with Justin Madubuike. We extended him. We got our guy. $23.5 million a year is what we're paying him, or $24.5 million a year, just under 25. What were your thoughts when we were able to get that deal done before free agency?
Man, I think that's something we've been, kind of been discussing even during the season last year. Who was more valuable, Patrick Queen or Justin Madubuike? I think we both was in agreement that, yes, we don't want to break up the relationship between Roquan and PQ, but, that interior, getting that interior presence. And Justin Madubuike, he's a generational talent, so we definitely didn't want to let that go. I know people kind of maybe even was kind of alarmed when the franchise tag was placed on him, but y'all, it worked out. Got the 4-year extension. Hopefully, I was like, okay, we got that done. Maybe this will possibly open up some cap space and availability for us, to maybe get somebody else, maybe another, maybe a Jadeveon or a Cal Van Noy, thing of that nature. So, when I saw the contract extension, I was very happy, very pleased that we was able to keep one of our young guns, especially for this, this stout defense.
Yeah, I think, when we had been talking all from last offseason, looking forward to this offseason, there were a couple of constants that I felt like we were bringing up. Number one, promote Mike McDonald and keep him up no matter what cost. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Good luck to Mike McDonald in Seattle. I'm excited to see what Zachary Orr can do. That is something I'm very excited about. But Justin Madubuike, keep him. No matter what, keep him. And the Ravens reportedly, I think the reported deal that he had been offered was around $12-13 million a year. Last year was the deal that was offered to him, and he decided, let's be honest, he made the right decision. I want to see what I can do as a starter. He hadn't been a starter his whole career. He'd been sitting behind Calais Campbell, and he was and we all knew he was a beast. Comes out, puts up 13 sacks, ties the NFL record for consecutive games with at least half a sack. And guess what? We re-signed him. And this is something that we Ravens fans have been looking for. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a very long time since we have drafted a pass rusher and extended said pass rusher that is a Pro Bowl level or Pro Bowl pass rusher, right? You look at the recent guys, most recently it was Matthew Judon. Was the guy that came through the ranks, and it was like, come on, we got to keep him. He leaves, he goes over to New England. He's a baller over there. Always a big fan of Matthew Judon. So, congrats to him. Before that, Zadarius Smith, we draft him, we develop him, and it's like, oh, we've got our guy.
Yeah.
We just kept letting him go.
Yeah.
And Madubuike, it felt like, hey, this is a guy you can build around. He would, we've called him kind of a mini Aaron Donald of sorts, even though he's not technically smaller, but he's kind of a beta version. And he's just getting better and better every single year of his career. But I think the biggest part about the whole thing happening, Eric DeCosta, why it was such a good move, was it happened before free agency. So we didn't have to see Chris Jones, $30 million a year, Christian Wilkins, massive
Yeah.
contract. All these other guys are getting paid. We were able to lock up our guy first before he all of a sudden starts to demand maybe a little bit more money. And I don't feel like we're ripping him off. I think the deal that we gave him is around what I expected. So super happy about that. You look at our team, I think when we all look at the Ravens roster, front four, we're looking at Madubuike as the future. Middle three, Roquan Smith. And then the back end, it's Kyle Hamilton, right? We've got front to back our Nada, Lewis, and, Ed Reed. Or if you want to say Suggs, rather than putting him at linebacker, whatever you want. We have our three. I think I'm happy with Madubuike being in that top three Ravens defenders.
Yeah, it definitely works out for sure.
But you brought him up earlier, Joshua. Patrick Queen today signed a contract with the Steelers. I want to say 3 years, $41 million. Or PQ was gone. Is this a celebration time, or what are you feeling?
I'm gonna put it like this: anybody that stays in the AFC North, we not celebrating them. Granted, we are happy that they're able to get the opportunity to play, get paid, things of that nature. But it's up. You're up. Every 2 years, every twice a year. So I'm glad you was able to go ahead and get your money. I'm glad you was able to get your opportunity. Maybe be even with an organization that kind of believes in you in a sense, because I don't think PQ originally wanted to come to Baltimore anyway. I know everybody kind of get those calls or texts of where they're supposed to go, where they're supposed to get drafted, and we kind of put them in a situation where we kind of put him out there to drown, in the beginning of his career, because they tried to put him at the mic. When he played at LSU and got the championship, he ain't play no Mike linebacker. He played a weak inside linebacker where he can just crash out and be reckless and do everything he can do, make a mistake at 100 miles per hour. Y'all want him to settle down, call plays. That wasn't his nature. And then he was young as hell. He got 2 years with Roquan Smith almost. And I hope he's able to soak and grasp that information and, pick at the brain of Roquan Smith, because now you about to be put back into that same situation. You're just now 24 years old with five years of experience of professional football now. And now, you're going to have to become the mic again. It's no Devin Bush. I don't even know who is in that middle linebacker room at Pittsburgh, and if there are any guys in that middle linebacker room at Pittsburgh, it doesn't give their names don't give that type of effect as previous Steelers linebackers used to and once did. So shout out that you're getting the opportunity to be that guy. Take that opportunity, run with it, and don't let up. But the contract that he got, McConnell, that was around the same ballpark I was kind of talking about, because weak inside linebackers don't get paid a lot of money. So if the money thing wasn't an issue, it had to be a kind of teeter-tottering relationship, especially after we didn't pick up his 5th-year option as well. So I guess he kind of saw it was, I'm gonna play this year out. I'm gonna still be a Raven. I'm gonna show everybody else what I can do in the field. And he did exactly that, and he got paid. So, shout out to him. We'll see you twice a year, man.
Yeah. I want to say I'm happy. I don't have to watch him anymore. I think people know I'm not the biggest Patrick Queen fan, because I don't think he can cover. Very good in the blitz, good against the run, hard hitting, fast, play sideline to sideline. He's not a horrible player by any means. But the amount of times that we had to watch guys just on third down, you just throw it to whoever Patrick Queen is guarding, and they're going to catch it. He got mossed by Zach Moss. Come on. What are you doing? He got mossed by Devin Singletary as well, I believe, in the playoff game. You just can throw it up to Patrick Queen, and he's going to not get the ball. But again, very good in the blitz, very good in certain situations. And it's going to be interesting to see how Pittsburgh uses them. Obviously, they have a premier pass rusher. They've got some good, defensive linemen in Pittsburgh. So how are they going to use them? I don't know. But I can honestly say I'm pretty happy that we did not re-sign him. Wish him the best, except against us. But I'm glad that we were able to move on. And I forgot to put this in our notes, Joshua, but Malik Harrison, we did re-sign. So potentially seeing a little bit of him and Trenton Simpson, and any other rookies that we may end up drafting. I think next to Roquan Smith, we figure out, okay, what do we want to do? Like, are we going to have two linebackers at all times? It's not like we have to prepare for Derrick Henry anymore, which is nice. So that's one less power running back that we're worried about. So maybe going a little bit smaller at the linebacker spot and using a Trenton Simpson and Kyle Hamilton in the box and such to kind of get more athletic inside. But next up, another guy went to an AFC North rival, Geno Stone. Mr. Can't see the hole on the pick six potential, but always a solid player, always a fun story. Really good draft pick by the Ravens in the 7th round. Going to Cincinnati. Did you want Geno back?
I would say yes. I definitely did want Geno back. But once again, it's another. His situation is more acceptable. I'll say that. The reason I say it's more acceptable because with Marcus Williams still, being under contract here in Baltimore, he was not going to get a starting position. He wasn't going to be a starter unless Marcus Williams continuously went down. Now, I'm not going to wait now. This is March 12th that we're recording, and I'm not wishing nothing bad on Marcus Williams at all. I'm hoping he has a healthy season, and I hope he goes back to, that ball hawk and safety form that he was before, the injury to the arm last year. But Geno Stone, he was always Mr. Put him in the right spot. He's always found himself next to the ball. He was even though he was a little bit size, he still was a hard hitting safety. He showed out a lot last year. He deserved, to be a starter in this league. So, shout out to him. Once again, I don't like the fact that he's an op right now. But we'll see him twice a year, man. And this defense will not be the same. If they try to, pick at them, in a sense of, hey, man. The offense won't be the same. If they try to ask about Todd Monken's scheme or what they're going to do, and PQ and Geno Stone can't mentally plan for what they're going to do because now we done added Derrick Henry, we'll be getting a Keaton Mitchell back, we'll have Justice Hill, maybe on the outside we have a big body wide receiver. Things are going to look a little different, a whole lot different for this Ravens offensive scheme. So yeah, man, Geno Stone put in the work, he deserves it. Shout out to him. Keep working. Looking forward to his career and him being a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I think we've both always been fans of Geno. It's just been a situation where we don't have a spot for him, right? The Ravens do like to utilize 3 safeties, but Geno Stone can really only play single high. He can't play in the box. He's not good against the run. He's an interception magnet. He's a ball hawk. That's what he likes to do. He can get you interceptions, but the Ravens want to move everybody around. Positional versatility is something they look for in their safeties, and Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton, they can play everywhere. And then you look at the backups, like a guy like Darius Washington, he can hop in the slot. He can play over top. He is a little bit undersized. It's hard for him in the box, but he can play slot corner. And I think the Ravens are definitely going to look towards the draft of finding maybe another safety, but it does suck that he left, but at the same time, it makes sense for him and his career path to try and get that starting role. And I got to say, I'm kind of happy that the safety that the Cincinnati Bengals went after can't tackle because we got Derrick Henry, so we can just ride we're not riding the bus anymore. We're riding a much larger bus, a cruise ship. All right, the SS Louisiana, whatever you want to call it.
I love it.
Maybe Alabama makes more sense because that's where he went to school, but whatever. Speaking of the bus is back with Greg Roman with the Chargers. I believe it's like a 2-year, $6 million deal. What are your thoughts on Gus going to the Chargers, to brother of John?
So listen, I play a lot of Apex. I play 2K, Call of Duty, Warzone, Resurgence, whatever the case may be. All my buddies online, I'm a PS5 guy. They say, hey man, what y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna go out to Saquon? or y'all gonna go at the King Henry? I said, listen, this is what's gonna happen. If Gus gets picked up, we go at the Derrick Henry. If we find a way to re-sign Gus, we go at the Saquon. Saquon got picked up by the Eagles. Next thing you know, Gus Edwards. He gets picked up by the Chargers. Y'all do understand that, with this move being made by brother John and also Gregory Roman, you have a running back that understands their philosophy. You have Jim Harbaugh that likes to still run heavy, and he can produce. And I will say that Jim Harbaugh can get production, and develop quarterbacks. I will give him his respect and that nature. But getting a hard nosed running back in Gus Edwards is going to take a lot of pressure off of Justin Herbert, and also Gus Edwards has been looking for his opportunity to be a feature back in someone's offense. Hopefully Gus Edwards can rise to the occasion. I mean, he's had flashes. He just hasn't put a full body of work in a full season of being that featured guy. But I feel like he definitely could do it. Shout out to them guys. I don't know if we got to play them, and if we do, Gus, you can get this work. You can get this work.
Yeah, it's always nice when guys you've watched. I mean, I've not been a big fan of the keep Gus Edwards train. I didn't want him extended the first time, but at the same time, Gus has been very valuable to the Ravens, and I'm glad that he's going back with Greg Roman. He's going to get an opportunity to score touchdowns. He's going to get the rock. And Justin Herbert does like to check it down to the running back, and that's something Gus definitely worked on throughout his years. He's gotten a lot better at it. And they lost Austin Eckler, so I'm really curious to see how that offense runs with Greg Roman, but not with Lamar Jackson. Like, Justin Herbert is the worst rushing quarterback Greg Roman's ever had in the NFL. He had Kaepernick, he had Tyrod Taylor, he had Lamar Jackson. Herbert's not a bad runner, but Herbert's none of those guys.
That's not his strong suit at all. It's not a strong suit at all.
So how is Gus going to get involved? I'm really excited to see that. But next up, Devin Duvernay went to the Jaguars. Who's our kick returner? That's the question.
I'm about to say, outside of that, I really don't have much to say about Devin Duvernay. Devin Duvernay and James Prochet, they pretty much been in the same boat. We've been looking for both of them to have, breakout seasons. The only reason James Prochet got the boot first is because we brought in a lot of better receivers than James Prochet, and when he did have opportunities, he did not rise to the occasion. But for them to expect a lot out of someone that wasn't getting a lot of PT, that was the crazy part. Devin Duvernay, he had maybe one or two a touchdown here and there, but at this point, I'm looking at Tylan Wallace as our return specialist.
Yeah,
that's a guy that
definitely a great option at punt returner, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. That young man is hungry. You still got him under contract. He's cheap, and you still get a lot of value out of a guy that's going to work hard. So shout out to Devin Duvernay. I don't know what role he's going to play in the Jaguars offense, but thank you for your service.
Yeah, he's done a good job for the Ravens. A huge kickoff return against I think he had a kickoff return touchdown against the Dolphins. He also had one against the Kansas City Chiefs. Two big games for the Ravens over the last few years. But, I think this is a next man up situation. I think right now you're looking at punt returner Tylan Wallace, kick returner maybe Keaton Mitchell, maybe Justice Hill. I'd like to see Keaton Mitchell get a crack at it. I think he had a couple of return attempts, and they looked decent this past season. But, also I think look towards the draft. Wide receivers, a position that a lot of people want the Ravens to go after. And even if they draft a guy round 1 or round 2, whether A.D. Mitchell or Keon Coleman or Xavier Legette or Xavier Worthy, like all of them are like good receiver options, but also maybe look for, round 5, round 6, maybe the Ravens go after a return specialist as well. And I can honestly say I've not been looking into return specialists. It has not been on my agenda.
You are not alone.
So I'm excited to see what we have. And I think Max Melton is in this class. He's a corner out of Rutgers. I think he's the brother of Bo Melton, who also went to Rutgers. He was a wide receiver. And I know Bo was a returner at Rutgers. I don't know if Max Melton was a returner. Again, I have not watched any return specialist. I don't know of any that are going in this class. I think Cooper DeJean is in this class. Shout out to the University of Iowa and getting that game-winning touchdown call back against Minnesota. I think Cooper DeJean was the one that returned that, but they called fair catch. But next up, John Simpson. Do we have much to say about John Simpson other than thank you, goodbye?
I mean, that's pretty much it. His service here in Baltimore was pretty much a rejuvenation to his career. And let's be honest, any offensive lineman that looks decent enough behind a running quarterback is going to get a job. Mm-hmm. Let's be real about it. So, yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he got paid.
Yeah. And we've got a guy like Voorhees who could definitely step into that left guard spot. We also have Ben Cleveland, who I think a lot of people are counting out for the right guard competition. But at the same time, because people count out Ben Cleveland because they're like, oh, he looks bad at left guard. He was a right guard. That's all he played in college. He was not a left guard ever. He was a right guard, I believe, next to Orlando Brown Jr. Initially. And
yeah.
Maybe that was Ben Powers was next to Orlando Brown. But, Ben Cleveland wasn't even Oklahoma. He was Georgia. But
I was about to say, Zeitler's not even under contract right now. So right now, it's Ben Cleveland's job until someone else is brought back in. So this offensive line is about to get young for sure. Very young.
Yeah. Very young, but very big. And we also do have Patrick McCary. Maybe we try and throw Daniel Faalele on the inside. Whatever it is, we do not know. But John Simpson, you served us well. Next up, Derrick Henry. This was my guy. This was my guy to go after. This is who I wanted. It was him or Mike Evans. Mike Evans was signed before free agency started, so I was like, all right, let's go get Derrick Henry. And if we don't, let's go draft a running back like Trey Benson or Braylon Allen. But Joshua, what are your thoughts? We got King Henry in the building.
I mean, listen now. This is the fourth Tennessee Titan player that we got, and every Tennessee Titan player that we got on the back end of their career, everybody that plays for Baltimore has a rejuvenation. It's kind of been rough since the toe injury for King Henry. I mean, yes, did he break 1,000 last year?
He was number 2 in rushing in the NFL last year.
God damn!
And it felt like he wasn't even playing. It was like, where's Derrick Henry? I'm not even seeing him.
And does he still have a metal plate in his foot too? or was that recently taken out? I don't know. Either way,
took it out.
Okay. Either way, just knowing that, you still are going to get a level of high production. Todd Monken, he loves his big, strong power running backs. If you didn't watch Georgia football when Todd Monken was there, go ahead and watch it. Even when Todd Monken was in Cleveland, he did. Did he have Nick Chubb in Cleveland?
Chubb, yeah.
Okay, then. So it's going to work out. I mean, he's 30. He still can run. He still can go. It's going to be long nights and long Sundays for anybody that's going to play against us because he's going to work you out. And the thing about that, when he does run, he can break out and go up the field. So I like the sign, especially after Gus got picked up. So like I said before, if Gus is getting picked up, we're going to get King Henry. When I saw it, I guess I wish Derrick was younger. So, I mean, we're getting 30-year-old Derrick. I'm looking forward to see what 30-year-old Derrick can do.
Yeah, and my biggest thing about it is short yardage and red zone situations. This is going to make the Ravens almost impossible to stop because you throw Derrick Henry behind Patrick Ricard and even throw Lamar Jackson in the backfield, that'll freeze the defender, and he's going to fall forward every time. And if he doesn't, Lamar Jackson's probably keeping it and running around the back end. So massive opportunities for Todd Monken in play design while also not having to be Mike McDaniel in the red zone, right? One of the issues the Dolphins have is they have to get too crazy. The Ravens can line up and say, we are running this football, and they can tell every player on the defense is saying, we are running this football and we will score. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And then we also saw a lot of, I think at the beginning of the year this year with Todd Monken, we struggled in the red zone. but then all of a sudden we slowly got better and better, and he started to figure out what Lamar Jackson likes. He likes the hard play action.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry is the best running back in the NFL for a hard play action because the linebackers have to sell it. That's what made A.J. Brown so special early in his career, was hard play action, and A.J. Brown just runs like a 15-yard crossing route. Linebackers come up to stop Derrick Henry, and Ron Tannehill would just hit A.J. Brown, and there goes A.J. Brown. So imagine just like the hard play action quick screen game, right, to Zay. Hard play action, Mark Andrews down the seam, whatever it is. There's so many opportunities with him. I'm super excited to see how creative we get with it. And these defenders are going to be tired, and we can sub in Keaton Mitchell or have Lamar Jackson take a run and run by everybody, and nobody would be surprised.
And one other thing I'm going to add to that, McConnell, I know we wanted that touchdown throw by Odell Beckham Jr. We might get a couple throws from, Derrick Henry, so we might see that jump ball.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Can Lamar finally catch a touchdown pass? That's what we're hoping for. He's caught a pass.
Oh, man.
He's caught one. Unintentionally, but he caught one.
No, seriously, no.
Next up, Delshon Phillips. Good for him. I think he got like $2 million 1-year contract with the Texans. So
great special teams guy. He was great special teams guy. He was stepping into his own. So shout out to him being in a rebuild. That rebuild he gonna get better with time for sure.
And then final guy so far, Ronald Darby. This is one I'm a little bit upset about because I wanted to re-sign him. He had a really good year last year. I want to say it's 2 years, $10 million in Jacksonville. I think that's a really good signing for him. He had one of the best years of his career last year, stepping in and kind of becoming that cornerback 2/3, depending on if Marlon was healthy. But he did a really good job for us, and he deserved that money.
No, another guy, I want to say we kind of picked him up off the street, but, he was coming back from an ACL tear, and they kind of, they felt like his career was over. What did Baltimore know how to do? Go get them guys off the street, rejuvenate their career, put them in a system where they can flourish, and that's what Ronald Darby did. Shout out to him. I'm looking forward to getting Pepe back. So that's the only reason I probably see why they possibly kind of let him walk.
Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for that section. But getting into the next topic, free agents that are still available. And obviously the Ravens don't have money right now, but they can definitely make money if they need. Restructuring, I think they can save about $7 million on each of the things that I'm going to bring up. I think they can restructure Lamar. They can restructure Ronnie Stanley. They can restructure Marcus Williams, and they can restructure Marlon Humphrey. Those are kind of the big restructures. That's like it's like $25 to $30 million they can get if they do all of that. We don't know if they will. We don't know if the guys will agree to a restructure, but there's possibilities to get more money. What are some things that maybe you want the Ravens to do prior to the draft or after the draft? Who are some guys you want to target?
So pretty much for me, it would be address interior and linebacker. Linebacker, a young guy, Willie Gay Jr. I would try to go after him. I don't know how much.
I think he actually just signed like 30 seconds ago.
God damn it. Okay. Wow.
I think so. Where did he go? The Saints. He just went to the Saints 6 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. The next best guy, Justin Simmons, then, from Denver. I feel like that was a guy that was kind of agile. He kind of gave Shaq Thompson vibes. You kind of can place him everywhere. And with the uncertainties about Tyus Bowser and his injury, that kind of put me at a little bit of a standstill. I would love to bring back my guys like Kyle Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney before someone else picked them up. With the uncertainties about Zeitler, now John Simpson gone. What's the guard? It was a guard from Minnesota Vikings, I think Reisner. That's possible available. Reisner. Okay, I know he's under 30, so I believe he played on the right side. You want to still get a vet a vet type of offensive guard, because that's a lot to put on a rookie. Even though, Tyler Linderbaum, he was a rookie center, and, since day one, he has ran with it, and no one is taking his position at all. So I would definitely try to answer, more of those interior offensive line positions and maybe even a linebacker position.
Yeah, no, that's definitely an option. Running through some offensive linemen that look like they're available. David Bakhtiari. Now, the thought is he probably wants to go to the Jets to play with Aaron Rodgers again. But then J.C. Jackson, cornerback, got cut. Emmanuel Ogba, I believe, is still available. Justin Simmons is available. Odell. I don't really want to sign Odell right now. I'm fine if we do end up signing Odell, but I'd rather wait until the draft or after the draft. If we don't get someone in the top 3 rounds, we probably need Odell back. But if we get a Keon Coleman, a Xavier Legette, Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr., I'm not going to be stressing about the wide receiver 2 spot. But Laken Tomlinson is a guard. He's available. Eddie Jackson is available. I'm gonna try and get this video out early on Wednesday. So I apologize if any of the names that I've said have been signed. This is as of Tuesday. Guys haven't been signed yet, but obviously maybe just re-sign Kevin Zeitler. Like that's a deal that I'm like,
no, for sure.
Like Kevin Zeitler's the only guy on our offensive line where I'm like, I want to keep him. Like, I don't really need to keep. I didn't need to keep John Simpson. If we get rid of Ronnie, cut Ronnie, trade Ronnie, whatever, I'm not upset about that. We can draft an offensive tackle in the first round. If we get rid of Morgan Moses as well, like Faalele on the right tackle spot, I'm not going to be upset about that. Or Patrick McCarry, who's done a great job subbing in at tackle. I think he's probably the best tackle we have on our team, but we just lose that versatility on the offensive line as a backup. But I think Kevin Zeitler is the guy that I want to bring back. That's probably the one guy that I'm looking at right now. Is like, hey, this is what we need to do. But if we want to go after a corner like a J.C. Jackson to be our CB3, I think that's definitely a good option.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's anybody else.
Did Bradley Bozeman get picked up? I would definitely. I would be open to reunion. Maybe having him play in the interior.
Yeah, Bozeman's still available. Let's see here. I mean, like Devin Bush is available. Let's see.
If we want to go back for running backs, I think I would. I would get Dalvin Cook for the whole year. I would like to see more Dalvin and Derrick Henry. I think that would be a nice tandem, even though they both are in their older years. But both of them give us great production behind this run heavy offense.
Yeah, and another guy that I think we could definitely sign is a guy like Josh Dobbs on like a backup quarterback. Because I don't want to keep Tyler Huntley, and I know I think we're going to give Malik Cunningham a shot at backup, but signing a veteran backup that's proven he can come in for a game or two, like a Josh Dobbs is a lot more valuable than I think a lot of people realize is having that good backup, because the Ravens were lucky. They're able to stay healthy all year. That's not going to happen every year. Like quarterbacks are going to miss a game or two, and having a good backup is valuable, but I don't know. I'm not like crazy worried about the rest of free agency. I'm more looking at, okay, the Ravens are going to wait until the draft, most likely, do the draft, and then sign vets like they always do, right? Wait for the comp pick deadline, and then go out and try and re-sign Clowney and re-sign Kyle Van Noy, and then go after the other random offensive linemen and cornerbacks that'll help provide depth, because that's what we do every year. And we do a really good job at that.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. Do we get a comp pick for the signing for Devin Duvernay? Or would it be for next year's? draft since it was like after the comp picks.
None of the comp picks will be for this year's draft. All the comp
Gotcha.
pick projections are for next year. And I don't think Patrick Queen, the original thought was Patrick Queen was going to grant the Ravens a third. Don't think that's going to happen. He didn't get enough salary. So I think he's probably going to be a fourth.
Okay.
But Devin Duvernay might give us like a seventh. I think Geno Stone will give us a seventh. But I don't know exactly because he is a multiple-time All-Pro and Pro Bowler, but I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, I figured that those two would be like late rounders. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're definitely going to get a fair amount of comp picks next year because we have lost a lot of players. But at the same time, we haven't lost very many crucial players. Like, I think the only two crucial players we lost were Patrick Queen and Gus Edwards because Geno was a backup. Devin Duvernay was a backup. Simpson, very replaceable player.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to be able to get a linebacker in free agency because we're going to have to pay him a lot. Honestly, the strategy is to draft a good one. And this isn't a great linebacker class, so it's not like we can draft one round one. But
yeah,
a day 2 guy, day 3 guy early, like round 4 or 5 to compete with Trenton Simpson. Remember, Trenton Simpson looked really good in that Pittsburgh Steelers game. So, how's he going to look next year? We don't know, but he's had a whole year to kind of sit and learn. Pretty excited to see, but do you want to jump into this mock draft?
Let's do it, man.
All right, guys. Here's the mock draft, PFF. All right, I think we can see this. Yes, okay. All right, we're entering the draft. You guys can see the settings. I'm not messing with anything. You know what I love to see? JJ McCarthy falling. I don't want JJ McCarthy to go in the top 20. Not that we're going to draft him, but
he doesn't need to go there early.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him. So now that free agency is in, some options: Tyler Guyton, obviously wide receivers. There's some good guys: AD, Troy, Jordan Morgan, good tackle. Let's see here: Kamari Lassiter, corner; Darius Robinson, I like him. Kingsley, Somataya. That's probably the last tackle that's worth it. But what are you thinking for round 1? I like tackle round 1 because I think round 2 we can get good receivers, but there is also some edge rushers as well.
Man, if we go edge rusher, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going for the Baltimore native Chris Braswell. That's just me. I'm not going for Chip Robinson. So
I agree with that. I'm not a huge fan of Chuck Robinson. I like Darius Robinson a lot. But Chris Braswell is not.
Well, my next guy will be Jared Verse if he hasn't been already picked up.
Oh, he's probably gone, I assume. Let's see, where did Verse go? Verse went 16, yeah.
I'm not surprised. So the next best thing, I will go tackle. I think the best one, correct me if I'm wrong, would be the BYU Kingsley.
So Kingsley's available. Guyton is available. And then the other tackle is Jordan Morgan. But Kingsley's the big one. Kingsley is...
That's what we need.
Right. 6'6", 315. We've got Jordan Morgan. I think he's also 6'6". 6'6", 320 for Jordan Morgan. And then Tyler Guyton, 6'7", 327. Oh, my God. That's a big dude.
The thing is, where do we put him? I would go tackle.
I think let's go tackle. Let's see here. Oh, the good thing about PFF, it shows you where they've played. So mostly right tackle in his career. Played a little bit of left tackle. My thought is draft right tackle because I think we're keeping Ronnie.
Yeah.
But I do want to see.
I think it's time to go. I do feel like it's time to go away from Morgan Moses. I do feel like, a trade is needed or some type of cut is needed with Ronnie Stanley as well. So, I'm all for, going in on the right tackle.
All right, I think we go with Guyton just because he's huge, and we've done pretty well with really big Oklahoma offensive linemen.
Yes, we have. Hopefully, he doesn't have no secret agenda.
Hey, he's always been playing right tackle. He can't be complaining this time. There we go. So that's the first round. Now we've got Kieran Amagagie. Absolute beat. This guy's huge, I want to say. 3'8".
Is that Yale?
5. Yeah.
Whew.
He's a beast. He's a beast. Xavier Legette, really good wide receiver. Xavier Worthy, another really good wide receiver. Big fan of both of those guys. Edge rushers, I like Braylon Trice. I don't think we go guard right after going.
Yeah, I don't think we go that early.
But
I think we do go for. I think we do go for a level of playmaker.
I mean, really, that's Worthy or Legette. Both really good wide receivers. Worthy, that's just player in the history of the combine. Legette, bigger body. Also still has speed. I want to say he did run 4.3. Or he might have run just 4.4, like barely 4.4. But I'll let you choose on that one. Do you want, the small quickster that Lamar kind of likes, or do we want to go after kind of a bigger, more physical guy?
No, I'm gonna need Lamar to keep on working on his working as a QB and develop as a QB. So I'm gonna give him a bigger body. I feel like that's something he has not had that Joe Flacco had that took us to a Super Bowl. It's a big body wide receiver. So let's get him a big body wide receiver. Let's go get Xavier.
Oh yeah, 6'3", 227 pounds. Let's see. I want to know where he lined up. I want to see if it says that. Oh, it doesn't say. I wanted to see how much outside sides, but it doesn't show. All right, Xavier Legette, big fan of his game, so definitely not upset about that. Next up, we've got a guard here. This could be a spot where going guard is definitely viable. He's also played 30 games at 30 snaps to tackle, but let's see here. Powerful run blocker. Okay. So that's what he is. He's a run blocker.
Sounds like our type of guy. Can we see what running backs are available before we pull the trigger?
Yeah. So we've got Bucky Irving, Ray Davis. What the heck? Why is Trey Benson and Braylon Allen running back 7 and 8? Those guys are beasts. Those are my RB 1 and 2. But
so how we feeling?
I mean, honestly, I think since we got Derrick Henry, I don't really want to go running back this early. I think round 5 back is more reasonable, but I don't know. I just think that we want to ride Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell, and Justice Hill was good enough at running back to where I don't think we need to draft someone. But let's see here. There's definitely other guys. Jerrion Jones, corner.
Oh, he was good. He was good last year for sure.
Yeah. That Florida State defense, they were all ballers.
Listen. What?
So he was a slot.
Do we want to go for a slot, or do we need more of an outside guy? Because we will get Pepe back. DJ James.
Valuable. Let's see. DJ James. He was playing outside. Okay. He had 1 dropped interception. Doesn't even say how many interceptions, though. That's pretty funny. It's kind of scary that his only good games were against, I don't even know what school that is, Vanderbilt and Arkansas. It's a little bit worrisome. Jerrion Jones. What is that? The Golden Eagles, I do know that. I can't remember what it is, though. And UNA, it looks like. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like going guard here just so that we have someone fighting for a starting spot.
Let's do it,
because I think Christian Mahogany is a great name, by the way. 6'3", 322, Christian Mahogany. Boston College.
Sounds like a candle out of Bath and Body Works.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Round 4. Now, here we have 2 picks. Now, this is where I could maybe go running back and get a guy like Will Shipley, who I know we both like.
You know what? At 4 in fourth round with Will Shipley, I'm okay with that if we make that move.
Let's see here. I want to see. Yeah, I think Will Shipley's a lot better than Guerrero. And then we have another pick in 5 picks, so just kind of scouting. Kalen King's on the board.
He played good
Xavier
ball for
Thomas.
Penn State.
Yeah, but I like Will Shipley. I'm curious what his PFF grade was. Good in zone. He's a good pass catcher as well. That's one of the big things about him.
Yeah.
So definitely somebody that we could still use as a backup. And maybe like returner. I don't know. But I like Kalen King here or Xavier Thomas. But
David Ojabo is coming back from a season-ending injury. Oh goodness, who is the defensive end from Colorado State? I think his last name was Coleman. He had a motor. I love defensive ends with motors. I forgot his name.
I don't see him.
He played outside linebacker.
Oh, maybe he's linebacker.
I don't know.
Do not see him. Either he's been drafted or he's not in the class.
All right.
Oh, I think he just went Muhammad Kamara.
Yeah, there we go.
Colorado State. Yeah, he just went.
And I'm assuming Jeremiah Trotter probably already got picked up too. Or Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Yeah, I think so. I kind of like Kalen King here. Someone that struggled last year, but 2 years ago, great player.
I'm down for it. We can never get enough corners. We've seen that way too many times.
Yeah, and a lot of people had him as a round 1 guy coming into the draft season. Let's see here. Round 5. Now is kind of the point where we have so many picks now. It's just best player available.
No, seriously.
Joe Milton could be a good backup quarterback. I'll say that. Joe Milton has an absolute cannon.
He does.
So, like, I'm up for Joe Milton if we want to get a backup quarterback.
He's a Florida guy too, Pahokee.
But I don't know if we want to go quarterback that early. Jalen Sundell, he's a big tackle, 6'5", 300. Let's see here.
We're good on the interior D-line. I would honestly probably add another tackle.
Okay, yeah. I don't think we want to go both tackles from Oklahoma. That would be kind of weird. So maybe go with Sundell.
Yeah.
Oh, he played center in 2022 and 2021, and then he switched to left tackle. That is an interesting career change.
Okay. Versatile.
Yeah. Kind of like that as a backup. And Walker Bruce is just a left tackle.
Well, in Baltimore, we do love our versatility. So, Sundell is up there.
Yeah. Smaller school, but very dominant at North Dakota State.
The youngest McCafferty brother is available too?
Oh, yeah. Luke. Good career at Rice. What do you think? You want to go Sundell or?
We can go Sundell.
All right, let's rock with Sundell. What do we got? 2 remaining picks. So
What wide receivers are available?
Probably none I've ever heard of. Hayden Hatton, I think I've actually heard of. I heard he was pretty good. I don't know his stats, but 6'2".
Yeah.
But Zachary Franklin. This is a horrible PFF.
Yeah, it was another Ole Miss guy that was pretty much supposed to be real good, but I don't think that's him. We can keep on moving.
Yeah.
We did talk about another safety.
The Oregon State safety I like, Oladapo.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big body. I mean, look at that run defense and coverage grade. 84 and 91. He's pretty good.
Good to me.
And also lines up everywhere. Slot, box, and deep.
I would say let's lock it in. We need another one.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of his game. And then final pick. Do we want a backup quarterback? Oh, this guy sucks. 27 pressure grade.
South Alabama.
Carter Bradley. Or
I would take the younger two. Yeah, I would take the other Tagovailoa.
Are there any other quarterbacks? Sam Hartman.
Yikes. Yeah, so he was so up and down in Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Devin Leary.
Let's see here. Guys, in the comment section down below, let us know your thoughts on all of our picks as well.
I know they're not going to hold back.
We could go linebacker, Gibbs.
Wyoming guys usually play good ball.
No touchdowns allowed. 1 interception. Played some slot. Almost all in the box, though.
I'm open to it.
Aaron Casey. Let's see here. 6'2". Kind of like Gibbs, but we could also go with Tua, his brother.
We'll pick up honestly, I see us just getting someone, off of waivers or a cut casualty as far as like QB. So I don't think we need to really draft another one. So I say let's go into a linebacker.
Another great name too, with Gibbs. Yeah. Easton Gibbs. We're probably gonna get a horrible grade. B grade. Okay, that's not that.
Damn.
That's not that bad.
No, not at all.
I mean, if the Ravens did this, I'd be really happy, right? Tackle, wide receiver, guard, boom. Like that is massive for our offense. And then running back for a backup spot and also potential slot receiver. Will Shipley can be used there. So
true.
And then corner, Kalen King, he can play potentially day one. And then some depth guys. I don't know. I think this is a decent draft. It's weird doing drafts when you've been having this focus on like getting running backs and getting, certain and pass rushers because we don't know if we're keeping Madubuike. But now that we know we have Derrick Henry and we lost Patrick Queen, being able to shift our focus is definitely different for the mock draft simulators.
Yeah, things change very quickly once at the day one of free agent signings for sure. I definitely agree to that.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's probably about it for this episode. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Nah, no, that's it, man. Just glad to be able to record, talk to the fans again. We miss y'all. I needed a personal break, a mental break after the way we lost. But we back, man. Ready to get this new season started. I said I wasn't going to watch football again, but hey, I'm a diehard Ravens fan, I'm here, big trust all day, every day. And, y'all have a good week.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more Daily Ravens content, and we'll see all of you again next time.